Would you please give us the numbers of your income and expenses in your TRS fund? You gave it to us, and I didn't write it down, but I really want to, I think this is dramatic.
In fiscal 19, the year that we're in right now, we're going to pay roughly $6.6 billion in retirement benefits. Last fiscal year, we earned funds coming in totaled $9.2 billion. That's a combination of contributions and investment earnings. When we start each year, and I didn't say this previously, when we start each year, we're facing about $1 billion to $1.5 billion negative cash flow. We know that we're going to pay X dollars in benefits. We have roughly each year about $1 billion coming in from our members and their active member contributions, and depending on how you guys do, 4.2, $4.8 billion coming in from the state. So we're looking at anywhere between $5 and $5.5, $5.8 billion in contributions coming in. So we have, like I say, $1 billion negative cash flow out of the gate that we have to make up through either investment earnings or sales of assets. If you look at a scenario, and this is a scenario that is purely an example, but it's an example that I've discussed with the board in public session. If you take our $51 billion in assets today, and if the benefit payroll is as it's projected, which it has been, for years, and in fiscal 19, the year that we're in now, if our investment earnings are down 10%, that's just an example, and we're not there right now, but it was an example I wanted to give the board. And next year is flat, and the year after that is up 5, sort of a typical, cycle of the investment world. We would be 32% funded in 3 years. Then it really gets exciting. Now, if you say, okay, you made those numbers up, okay, let's use real numbers that happened, 2008, 9, and 10. If that were to repeat, and we hope it doesn't, and we don't expect that it would, but if it did, we'd be 28% funded. And that's when, when you get to that low 30, high 20, that's when it gets difficult to manage your investment portfolio the way you would like. We've done, very well. We've done over 9% for 40 years, on average for 40 years. We've done 8%, over 8% for the last 30. And that's, where you want to be. But you do that by investing in private equity and real estate and other things that are somewhat less liquid, that you can't afford if you are concerned about cash to fund benefits. You can't commit to those asset classes to the extent that you have historically. So that's what we wrestle with. We walk a tightrope. We haven't fallen off the tightrope yet. We hope we don't. But that's what we think about all the time.
So you need
4.8 by the statute.
By the statute, and
by current law.
And you need
2.4.
4.8, 2.4.
Well, we need 1.8.
And 1.8. Okay. So that's
and to give you a sense, I'm answering questions you haven't answered or asked, but it makes me feel good, so stop me if I'm wrong. To give you a sense of, the order of magnitude, it's, everybody talks about we're what, 22, 23, 25% of general funds. In a typical state, that's going to be 5 or 6%. And if imagine a future where we double our tax revenues, we're still going to be 12%, 10 or 12%. We're still twice what the typical state is. So it's a pretty serious and sobering situation.
Thank you for your honesty. It is sobering.